Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing my thoughts on Ninjago Legends set number 71847, the Guardian Dragon. This is a massive Ninjago Legends set containing 1,650 pieces, ultimately retailing for $150 US. Now, following the Fire Knight mech, this is the other Ninjago Legends set, and I knew as soon as I saw pictures of this massive green dragon, I knew I wanted it. This dragon is so epic in terms of the way that it presents itself. It is such an excellent display piece just right off the bat. However, while I might be pretty optimistic and very positive towards this set, it's definitely not the perfect or best Ninjago dragon ever, in my opinion. At least if you are expecting a certain level of articulation. This is more so a display piece, meant for older fans of Ninjago. This is not necessarily a toy, if you will, and that will be apparent as we go throughout the video. There are many things that this set is lacking that would make it a good toy. However, in terms of this set being a display piece, it's awesome. It's excellent. All of the great adjectives that I can give it. Of course, don't expect the most professional level of reviewing for this video. I am not a professional Lego reviewer. I just review and go over what I buy. I did buy this one. Obviously, I wanted this one super bad. So without further ado, let's get into my thoughts on the Guardian Dragon. First, the box is very well done. Like the Fire Knight mech, it provides us with a nice artist's rendition of the set itself on the front of the box. Great colors, just beautiful all around, and on the back of the box, you get a more accurate depiction of the set itself. Again, this is more so what you are buying when you purchase this set. But in terms of the box, that is the box. So starting off with minifigures, the only minifigure that you get in this set is this new Master Wu, which I do like quite a bit. Again, this is the only minifigure in this set. No other minifigures, unlike the other Ninjago Legends set. You don't even get any type of civilian. This is the only figure that you get here, and it's a nice Master Wu. I do like this figure quite a bit. However, I'm not sure why this particular Master Wu is included here, because this is supposed to be, from what I understand, a Ghost Hunter Master Wu, along the same lines as the other Ghost Hunter Ninja from the Dragon's Rising Season 3 sets, also releasing this summer. Again, this is not a Ninjago Dragon's Rising set, this is a Ninjago Legends set. So why we have Ghost Hunter Master Wu here, I have no idea. Kind of a weird inclusion, but I do like this figure a lot. Taking away his little staff here will give us a better look at the figure, and we will take some stuff off here like that armor piece, which does look very nice too. Again, the dragon pauldron on this side and kind of like bamboo over on this side, again for shoulder armor. It looks really good, and again, the other Ghost Hunter Ninja use that same piece. In fact, this white armor piece is also used by the Ghost Hunter Zane. It's just kind of, again, weird that this is technically Ghost Hunter Master Wu, but still, that armor piece doesn't look too bad on Master Wu, especially with the dragon. It kind of reminds me of the Season 9 dragon armor for Wu, but let's take that off so we can take a look at what's underneath. So this is pretty much what's underneath. Again, very nice printing on the torso and the legs. Again, that dark brownish red almost looks pretty good on Master Wu. Nice tan belt as well. Very traditional Master Wu design. It looks pretty solid. The back is also really well done. I love that chain and the symbol as well. Again, this is a great minifigure. It's a great design for Master Wu. It also has a new face for Master Wu. That is a new exclusive face as of right now, exclusive to this set, and I think that looks good too. Unfortunately, no Master Wu beard is included here, so you can't like make a more traditional Master Wu, but you do get the hat. It's a nice gold hat. Same hat that Master Wu has been using since the beginning of time. And yeah, overall, definitely not a bad figure for Master Wu. It does look good among the other Master Wus in my collection. It's just kind of, again, a little weird as to why this particular design for Master Wu was even made to begin with, let alone included in this set. So now, moving on to the actual set. This actual set review will be a little bit different from my previous set reviews here, in the sense that I will definitely be using the handheld camera for a lot of this review, just because this set is massive here, and this entire thing is just one solid chunk. There are no side builds. You can't even take the dragon off of the display stand. I mean, you can, but the dragon has nowhere to go. With the display stand being, again, attached from the dragon, you kind of need the dragon to be perched on the rock at all times. So this review is going to be a little untraditional, I suppose you could say. But let's start off with the base, just talking about the base here before we get into the actual dragon. I do like this base quite a bit. I mentioned in my review of the Fire Knight mech that I preferred this base over that one, and that still remains true. I love how nature themed this base is. We have a nice waterfall, not to mention the actual rock formation that the dragon perches on looks very good too. Again, a lot of nice angles in here. These pieces, these rounded pieces, are used to create this very convincing like rocky formation. You see bits of dirt and various bits of like grass in there too. It's a nice nature themed display, and again, I do love the waterfall flowing down into this more pond area, I guess you could call it. It's more like a pond to me. Of course, we have Master Wu just kind of hanging out there. You can put him wherever, but the pond looks amazing. I love the various rocks and stepping stones along here too. Of course, the actual outline of the base, this black part, is a similar construction to the base found in the Fire Knight mech set. Makes sense there, considering, again, these come from the same sub-theme, I guess you could say. And right in there, in the middle of the pond, this set also gives you one of those metallic gray reveal blades, the new sword element introduced for this year, or introduced to Ninjago for this year, I should say. And that's a nice piece too. It's nice to have another one of those. Again, not sure the significance of that piece in particular in the context of Ninjago Legends, because again, that is more so a Dragon's Rising Season 3 piece. But still, that looks nice there too. We have this nice little temple off to the side here. It's just kind of like a nice little walkway, like a little arch here, and it's nice. It adds to that more serene type of feel that this base has. I'm just not so sure what exactly this leads to. In original prototype images that we just got for this set, originally it was going to be like an actual small temple on the side, not just the entrance to a temple, but still it's there for representation of a temple. You can kind of see this as being Master Wu's little hideout or whatever, but still, I probably would have loved to have seen maybe more of a solid temple off to the side of this one. But still, I do like this look overall with the arch. It again adds to that serenity feeling. I also love the trees. There are a couple of trees used here too. We have one down in there, one over on the side, and one up here. Now, considering the colors of the leaves here, these are more autumn-inspired trees, I would say. The leaves are changing, adding to that nice nature feel, and again, I do like autumn as a season. I love when all the leaves change, so this set being kind of autumn-themed too definitely gets points from me there. We also have a couple of lanterns hanging off to the side there, same ones that are used in the Fire Knight mech set. Again, very much blending those two sets and making them feel like they are part of the same coherent wave, if you will. And I will bring in the Fire Knight mech a little bit later so we can compare, but overall, in terms of the base, I like it quite a bit. There's nothing really going on around the back of the base. If anything, the back of the base kind of looks a little bit incomplete, but I do like, again, these roots coming out of the back of the rock formation here, more nature themed. I just don't really like how this looks, you know, like that looks kind of unfinished, dare I say. There's also a lot of weird like flat surfaces that kind of, in my opinion, breaks the rock illusion. I think the front of the base is definitely handled a lot better, I will say. But moving away from the base, and again, this is where the more handheld portion of the review comes in. Hooray for handheld. But as you can see, the dragon itself is perched on there extremely well. Like I said earlier, you can't take the dragon off. Well, you can, but there's not going to be anywhere to position the dragon on its own. It can't really stand up on its own, and without the base, it's just kind of like nothing. You can move the feet of the dragon if you really wanted to, but I don't know why you would. Again, kind of breaks the illusion of the dragon being perched on top of this rock. But I do like how the tail of the dragon looks. It's kind of wrapped around the tree there. Very well done there. Of course, you can position the tail any way that you want, but the instructions kind of tell you to wrap it around the tree branch like that. I think that looks pretty good. And just talking more so about this dragon, this is a huge dragon. It's insane how big this guy is, and I do love the construction here. Let's start up at the head. So that is a very nice dragon head there, using a very familiar mold for the top of the jaw. That same dragon head mold has been used on a few other dragons, but the bottom jaw is completely brick built, and you can indeed move the jaw so you can like close the mouth if you really want to. And there you go. Give the dragon a nice closed mouth look. I prefer to have the mouth open though, just so you can see that little tongue in there looking very nice. I love that. The crown of the dragon also looks good, providing a sense of royalty to this dragon. I love the way that that crown looks. Very nature themed too, with the brown and the gold with the fire. I love that ring. It looks very, very good. Again, printing on the dragon head is also very well done. The set does use a few stickers, but the dragon itself, in terms of the head, that is a print there. And I love the long neck here, just going down the dragon. That is a very, very cool design for the neck. You can indeed move various bits of the head too. Of course, you do have a ball joint. If I can pull this off here, it's kind of big, but you do have a ball joint right here, right in there, so you can get some neck movement there. This part of the neck is kind of stiff. You can't really move that, but there is a ball joint there. There you go. And there's a ball joint here, so you can move the head any which way that you want to. Get some nice expressions out of this dragon. And again, I do apologize for the very, very clumsy nature of this review. Again, I'm not a professional, not a professional. You can move this crown piece too and spin that if you want, but that doesn't really do much of anything up there. It's just for decoration. It's a nice, lovely crown that looks awesome. In terms of other points of articulation for the head slash neck area, there's really not much, but in terms of the body, there is some articulation to be found here. For one, I love the construction of these arms. These are built the exact same way. Love these massive blade pieces, these nice green kind of leaf blade pieces. But again, you do have some articulation. There are ball joints up in the shoulders, so you can move the dragon's arms if you want. They are kind of loose, the ball joints. They kind of drop down a little bit just because of how heavy the arms are, as you can see there. So be wary about that. Of course, I'm not really going to be posing this dragon in very, extreme poses, but still ball joints at the shoulders. You also do have a ball joint at the elbow that, again, this is true for both arms. So nice range of movement there. That also looks pretty good. Again, these leaf pieces you can move to, these leaf blades. I call them leaf blades. You can move those too. And going down to the hands are built, a little straightforward. It's not the most complicated hand design out there. It's literally just a hand. Unfortunately, there are only 3 fingers, or 2 fingers and a thumb, so you're not going to get like the best poses out of like the fingers of the dragon, but there is a wrist joint, ball joint there, and since there is a middle finger, technically, you can indeed make this dragon flip you off, kind of. It's not the best flipping of the bird that I've ever seen from a Ninjago dragon, but there is a middle finger, so do with that what you will. And again, these fingers are just attached via clips. These are the same fingers that have been used on various mechs and other creatures and whatnot from Lego, so very familiar piece there. But again, the arms definitely have some movement, but if you are looking for articulation, you are not going to find it in this set. Just, sorry to say it's not the most articulate set. In terms of the body, I do like how the body is constructed, and you do have a few of these things up here that you can move and do whatever you want with. Again, things can be adjusted, but I like how the upper body is constructed here. It's very organic looking, with the belly of the dragon being this nice tan color. That looks pretty good too. And you do have a little arrow blade there, or it's the same piece as the arrow blade, except it's kind of like a dragon jewel crystal thing. Whatever you would like to call it there. I don't think that piece has an official name. It just looks like an arrow blade from Ninjago Possession. Now, a lot of people have talked about how the dragon seemingly has scoliosis, and you know what? Sure, I can agree with that. As you can see, we kind of have a curve going at the bottom of the body, then it goes up then back the other way, then finally straightens back out to the head. And I get it, there's not much articulation in there, it's just kind of built pre-bent like that just to add some dynamic, poses, I guess you could say, to make it look more posable than it is. But it does kind of look a little weird if you stare at it for too long. You kind of get the sense that the dragon does indeed have some broken bones or something going on in there. Or you could see it being like a serpentine style dragon. But still, I get why some people are calling the body section weird. It doesn't bother me too much, but I do agree it's not the most elegant thing out there. I do like how the legs are built though, and the legs are built differently because again, one is going to be more straightened while the other is going to be, again, not bent at the knee because there are no knee joints or anything like that, but as you can see, it's already pre-built with that bend in there. The only points of articulation in the legs are actually, again, in the feet with those little hinge joints there, the little ratcheted hinge joints that you can move to position the feet any which way that you want. It's just very bizarre. You can move these little kneecap things if you really want to, but again, you're not getting like the most range of articulation out of this dragon, and that's pretty much what I can summarize about this dragon. If you are looking for posability, you are not going to find it here. This is first and foremost a display piece, not meant to be moved around. Of course, there are some points of articulation, like in the arms and even some parts of the head, but in terms of the body, there's not much, but I do like how the legs look. They are very organic, very beefy. Also, in terms of the color scheme, I love the different shades of green. And that's true for a lot of the dragon here. Bright spring green is used a lot, along with the normal green, and then dark green, also along with gold and tan. It's a very nice, consistent color scheme, and I do like how that color scheme is presented here. A big green dragon looks very, very good, and I do like how this dragon looks in terms of its color scheme. Little bits of orange in there too. But yeah, in terms of like posability, you're not going to get a lot here, and that is unfortunate, I guess, if you are out there looking for posability, but again, if you understand that this is a display piece, you aren't going to be as disappointed. But of course, one of the most impressive things about this dragon is its wingspan. Those wings are very, very big and very well done. Nice big cloth piece being used there with excellent printing on it. Of course, the wings are kind of constructed in a similar manner to other dragons in terms of having like the Technic beams make up like the bulk of the wing construction, but those, those fabric pieces just look amazing. Love the printing on there too. Love that they have little holes in them too. I just think those wings look amazing. And again, you do have some claws up there for the tips of the wings, some claws on the bottom too, or whatever you would like to call those. And again, zooming like all the way back, the wingspan is very, very impressive. I love how the wings look on this dragon. Unfortunately, the wings don't have much going on in the back. There is no printing on the back, but again, I don't know who is displaying this dragon from the back. Fortunately, other parts of the dragon, in terms of the back, are really well done. I love these spikes running down the back of the dragon. I also love how the majority of the back is that dark green color. So we have dark green for the back, various shades of green for the middle, and then tan for the belly or the underside of the dragon. That is a very, very good choice there, and I do give props to the designers for keeping the color scheme consistent. You also have some darkish tan on the backs of the legs. Again, color scheme wise, this dragon is killing it. You do have some articulation back here. These you can see as maybe being more feathers, and you can position those any way that you would want. We also do have a tail, which does have a bunch of ball joints in there. The tail also continues the excellent color scheme of the rest of the dragon and ends with this little golden tip down there. Master Wu has fallen over. Come on, old man, get up. We got to do a review. No, he's just unresponsive. But yeah, the tail is really nice, wraps around the rock, as you can see, going all the way back up. And again, you can position the tail any way you want. There are a bunch of ball joints in here, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint, etc., etc. So the tail has a lot of posability. That's good. But yeah, the back of the dragon looks pretty good too. I think the back was definitely considered a lot, of course, without compromising the front. I kind of wish, again, these wings were printed on the back, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. There you go, buddy. Get back up in there. Awesome. But yeah, with that being said, guys, that's pretty much the Guardian Dragon, just in terms of, again, my thoughts on the set. I think it looks very elegant, very beautiful, and if you ignore, again, the lack of articulation, you are looking at a very excellent Ninjago-themed display here. Looks very impressive on the shelf, is what I will say. Very, very cool model, very excellent display. Love the nature setting of the base. Could have been maybe a little bit bigger, but I could always expand that out more myself. But overall, if you are looking for an awesome display piece for a huge green dragon, please consider this one. This one is well worth it, I would say, and makes for an excellent and, show-stopping display on your shelf. And really quick, just for a quick size comparison, I did say that I would bring in the Fire Knight mech, and these two little Ninjago Legends displays look amazing together. I have them next to each other on the shelf currently, and they both look really good together as like one solid Ninjago Legends corner. Obviously, the dragon is going to be a lot bigger than the Fire Knight mech, but both of these sets, again, utilize a similar style of the base. I think they look excellent together, and I could totally see people expanding these bases out more and actually combining them. Yeah, these two look very good together. By the way, I have, again, reviewed the Fire Knight mech in its own separate video as of this point. Feel free to check out that review for more of my thoughts on that set. Now, before we wrap up today's video, very quickly, here we have the spare parts and the spent sticker sheet with the brick separator. Good variety of spare parts here, I would say, and of course, not that many stickers used here either. Big plus. And here we have the instruction booklet and the included poster. Yes, you do get a poster in this set, like the Fire Knight mech set included one. This set also includes a poster. Unfortunately, this poster is also folded, which makes it kind of useless. I am not going to display a folded poster with creases, unfortunately. That is so unfortunate that LEGO decided to fold up that poster, because the art is incredible. Again, like the Fire Knight mech, great artwork, it just sucks that it's folded. Why did you fold it? So to wrap up my thoughts on the Guardian Dragon, what do I think about this set when it's all said and done? I think as long as you know what you are getting into, in terms of this being a display set and strictly a display set, I think it's well worth it. This is an insanely awesome Ninjago display, and while it's not perfect, it could have included maybe a few more pieces to make the display even more impressive. It's very impressive on its own. The dragon itself is just beautiful, and while it's not my favorite Ninjago dragon, again, in terms of a display piece, it is extremely impressive. I love the colors, the shaping, the wingspan especially is just gorgeous to look at. This entire set is just beautiful, and I think it looks really good with the other Ninjago Legends set, and if you get both, you have quite the excellent display. Also, a few extra minifigures would not hurt either. Only one minifigure in this set for this price. Kind of ridiculous. Would have loved to have seen maybe more exclusive minifigures or just more minifigures in general. The lack of Kai in this set is kind of weird too, considering that Ninjago Legends Monstrosity was all about Kai, but the included Master Wu is still good. I just kind of would have preferred more minifigures, if that makes sense. But in terms of my thoughts surrounding this set, I am very positive towards this set. I think it looks great. I think as a display piece, it is very epic, and it's worth it for Ninjago fans. So would I recommend this set? Absolutely. Just understand that this is a display piece, first and foremost, not meant to be the most posable thing ever. But with that being said, that'll wrap it up for my thoughts here surrounding the Guardian Dragon. Hopefully you enjoyed my review. Sorry if it was a little bit hard to follow. Again, these larger sets take a lot out of me. I don't have that big of a reviewing space, so it's kind of hard to review these larger sets, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments surrounding what you think about this set. Are you planning on getting it? And if you already have it, how do you feel about the set? Leave all of your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.